This is Doctors Bob, Anthony, and Kaysen DeMaria, and today we're going to talk about strategies for employee wellness. If you're sitting at home right now and you're working somewhere that everybody is just not as healthy as they could or should be, and you know that you could help your company overall production and effectiveness, I would really encourage you to have us come into your place of employment and help you create a strategy for wellness. It's going to trickle down to your family. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Well, I know that we have the answer for you. What we would love to do is to come into your business and sit down and evaluate the different work and job descriptions that you have. Do an assessment. We start with a health assessment. Let's exactly see what's going on with all the individuals. And we really need the corporate leadership to participate with this because it starts from the top and it goes all the way down to you. And today what we want to talk to you about is just a couple of the thoughts that we have that will make a huge difference in your bottom line, because I know right now that your company is trying to recreate themselves and trying to develop a plan that will make a difference. So Dr. Kaysen and myself and Dr. Anthony would love to come into your business and organization. And I know that Dr. Kaysen has so much information that's going to help female and female health, because ladies, I know that you have challenges, and probably one of the biggest challenges that people have to deal with is energy. Ladies.
I know, especially in our office, starting at the 3:30 adjusting time, we see the women, they're falling asleep. The energy is higher in the morning, so I know that through our employee wellness that we're going to help boost your energy. And you're actually going to have energy the whole day instead of just in the morning.
I mean, it's kind of interesting because you bring it up and people might say, well, Dr. Kaysen, how could people in the afternoon maybe not have as much energy as they do in the morning time? And I know that if you're sitting all day long, you want to hold this for me? And this is tremendous. A phenomenal visual for all of you that are watching us right now. Is one of the things that we know that when we have people come into the office is that we look at posture. And we know, and you want to just kind of describe exactly what is happening right here?
Okay, so first of all, if your head is an inch forward, that is 12 extra pounds on your brainstem and on your upper trapezius muscles.
So when you say an inch forward, where should the normal be?
The normal, your ear should be actually behind your shoulder. So we call it the acromioclavicular joint, or the
shoulder joint.
The shoulder joint.
That's very good. And then as their head goes forward, there's going to
increase of 10 to 12 pounds. So that's like a bowling ball on the top of your head.
And I think what's really fascinating is, see, all day long, your body is doing whatever it can to keep you upright. And upright requires enormous energy. But all day long, gravity is pushing down on top of you and you get tired. And I know, and Dr. Kaysen knows, when those people leave our office after that adjustment, their power's on.
Oh, yeah. We know that every single time that we adjust specifically, I know one of the most powerful adjustments that we do in our office is the occiput, which is the top bone right here. And a lot of people, they don't have any motion in this bone. So just by releasing this pressure on the occiput, that increases all that pressure off your brainstem. And all of your nerves come out and supply your whole entire body.
And so I can have Dr. Anthony explain a little bit more. This is a huge model of exactly what Dr. Kaysen was talking about. And so in our practice, what we do is that we assess our patient's posture, their mechanics. We use a specific form of analysis called specific motion chiropractic. And what we're doing is that we're taking motion films of your spine. And when that spine is out of alignment, we will do a very gentle, painless maneuver that helps improve function. Right, Dr. Anthony?
That is exactly correct. So these upper bones, this top bone is called Atlas, and it was named after the god from Greek mythology that held the world on his shoulders. And literally, this bone is doing the same because it is holding your world on the top of your shoulders. It's the top bone called the Atlas, and then one below it. And then one of the things that sits right inside this hole is going to be your spinal cord. So when Dr. Kaysen and Dr. Bob were talking about that pressure that's going on your spinal cord from having your head being forward it all comes back to right here. So you can say, well, what is the importance of having my head back there? Is because when you're in your office or organization or even at home, that extra pressure that you have with your head being forward all day is going to cause your shoulders to come forward, and it's going to cause a massive amount of stress on your nervous system in the back of your head. So sometimes you might have tension headaches when you're at work, or you have tightness in your shoulders or your arms and tingling into your hands, and that's all related to the misalignments in your spine and your posture. And it is so important that you start to develop strategies, and that's one of the reasons why we created strategiesforemployeewellness.com, so that you can schedule us to come to your place of business or an organization or a church, and we can work at developing strategies for your place of business, work, or church. So it's just been really exciting to just incorporate posture, subluxation, chiropractic, and our wellness tips to get you and your family on to the next level. And the family is also your work family. So one of the reasons why we created it was because of the rising cost of healthcare in our country and the lack of awareness about things that generate and promote wellness. So if we wanted to talk a little bit more about why we did it, I think that that would be really important for our audience to understand why we're doing it.
So right now you might be the CEO of a company, and I know you're concerned about health care costs going up. How do you manage your health care budget without creating an increased deductible for your employees to pay? At the same time, you could be an employee of a corporation. And are you really doing your part? You can say, Dr. Bob and Dr. Anthony Kaysen, what are you talking about? Well, Dr. Anthony just mentioned about neck and arm and shoulder pain. Do you know that's one of the leading causes of absenteeism is pain? Right now in America, every 19 minutes, someone is dying from medication, properly prescribed medication. So what our plan, our goal is to do is to come in and sit down and discuss with you, how can we lower your cost by creating a strategy to improve your overall health and wellness. And exactly what Dr. Anthony was saying to you, we will sit down and we will talk with every person that's in your business to help them have a better understanding of what needs to happen to improve their overall state of well-being. And there are several topics that we like to talk about, and I know one of the exciting topics is increasing the energy, like we talked about already. But there are a lot of female challenges that ladies deal with every day, Dr. Kaysen. So you want to throw out a couple thoughts of some areas that you know that we can make a huge difference for?
I know, number one, focus and concentration. For females, I know it's really hard for them to focus sometimes. And even with memory, we can help with memory and just with all kinds of like aches and pains and headaches. And a lot of females, they're not sleeping through the night and they wake up tired still in the morning. So just being able to have restful night's sleep even for some of these women is going to be a great goal for them.
And it's kind of interesting because you might say, well, as chiropractors, what exactly are you going to do? Well, here's what's happening. Your nervous system controls the function of your body. And just like Dr. Anthony said, if you have a properly functioning nervous system, your whole body is going to work better. Your brain sits up here in the skull, and it continues on as the spinal cord. And as we were talking about earlier, if your posture is in this very forward position, it's going to entrap those nerves that go down to vital organs and function. And one of those happens to be your heart. And I know that we've helped a lot of patients who have had heart challenges.
It is very significant when people have heart challenges. One of the concerns that they have when they come into our office or when we're out speaking is blood pressure, cholesterol, atherosclerosis, heart attacks, because all of those heart conditions are one of the, if they are the leading cause of death in the United States on a yearly basis. But we have found that all of those heart disease related problems are all generated from lifestyle choices. So if you say lifestyle choices, yeah, lifestyle choices. So when we come and we make our assessments, the strategies that we're developing are going to be for your overall health in the long run. And that's really important for us. So having happy employees or people that you work with or organizations, and having their hearts happy too makes the hugest difference in the long run, because we want to see your overall health improve. One of the ideas I'd like to talk about a little bit more is that rising cost of healthcare and coming up with solutions for wellness and how to actually get to that point in your life. Because one of the things is, when we're talking and having conversations with our patients, they've been so misinformed by the media and what they want you to think is true wellness, that they have gotten far away from simple, natural strategies to get to true wellness. So that's really one of the things that we want to do to help to promote, is those strategies that you can develop so that you can have optimal health.
So I'm going to do a little tease with you right now. What if I told you there are 3 foods that you could get at your grocery store that would lower your cholesterol 50%? Would you decide to eat those foods? If you're the owner of a company right now, you're thinking, of course I want everybody in my company to be doing that, because I know that the leading drug that you're paying for right now is a statin drug. Actually, the company that makes Lipitor made $19 billion. Wouldn't you love to be able to lower your prescription medication costs for your employees? And if you're an employee right now and you're taking any of these medications, those medications have side effects or bad effects. And one of those side effects or bad effects is pain. And I know right now 126 million Americans every day have pain. Well, it's as simple as the ABCs. So here's a tip for you. You could start eating a half a red apple every day. You can lower your cholesterol 13% by eating half a red apple every day. Here's the big one right here. A beet. You can lower your cholesterol 40%. You hear what I just said? 40% by eating 15 grams of beet fiber on a regular basis. I eat beet fiber every day. And I want you to know something. My cholesterol is absolutely normal, and I don't take any medication. Wouldn't you love to be able to say that? And finally, the carrot. Dr. Bob and Dr. Anthony and Dr. Kaysen's ABCs. A half a red apple every day, a 1/3 cup of beets, and 4 or 5 baby carrots or medium carrot. The carrots help liver function. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into your place of employee. We're going to look at what everybody's eating, doing, sitting, their basic job description every day, and we're going to help you create a solution from the top down. We'll be right back. Hello, this is Doctors Bob, Anthony, and Kaysen DeMaria, once again with strategies for employee wellness. And right now you're probably sitting and thinking, you know what? I know where I'm working at right now could use some help. We've talked to individuals and businesses all over Northern Ohio, and we have actually spoken all over the United States. And our goal is to teach you what I like to call secrets. I've been practicing since 1978. We have successfully helped hundreds of thousands of people make a difference in their life. And I know right now, ladies, you have been suffering with pain, chronic pain. And some of you actually are taking antipsychotic medication to help relieve the pain. Well, Dr. Kaysen has a nugget and a secret for you. Right, Dr. Kaysen?
I do. I know that besides the posture, which I know Dr. Anthony is going to get into a little bit later, other things can cause pain, especially in a woman's body. And one of the main problems with upper back and left mid-back pain are bananas. I know that a lot of women, when they're laying face down on the table and we're checking their spines, they have a lot of tension in the mid-back and left neck area. And I know that sometimes we joke a little bit about it and we say this is your sugar spot, but this is where the pancreas can refer pain to. So I know things that cause upper mid-back pain and left neck pain are bananas. I know a lot of women like yogurt. They think they're getting all their calcium from their yogurt. Also sugars and berries. I know the season is coming up and people are eating strawberries and blueberries and mangoes and pineapples. And I know you're probably sitting at home thinking, that sounds really good. But apples and plums and pears, organic, are the best way to go because they have the least amount of sugar.